So it's getting to the end of 2021. We're in the last quarter, quite well into the last quarter of 2021. But don't give up yet. Don't treat 2021 as a write-off just yet if you haven't accomplished the things that you wanted to do at the start of the year. Don't just think, okay, I'll just start my goals again after when 2021 begins, January 1st, right? You don't want to be doing anything like that. You can get a head start, in fact, on your goals for 2022 right now in 2021, because I feel like when it gets to this time of the year, a lot of people get discouraged. They look at all the things that they've wanted to accomplish in 2021 and realize that they haven't accomplished nearly half of what they thought they were going to be. And I think this is a quote from Tony Robbins. I think I learned this from him. And he said, like, a lot of people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but they underestimate what they can do in a decade. So just because you haven't accomplished everything that you wanted to accomplish in 2021 doesn't mean that you should just write off the whole year and start again in 2022. You can get a head start on your goals for 2022 right now, and you can still, achieve a lot of stuff within the time left in 2021. So today we're going to be talking about, how to get more into your goals, achieve some more of your goals in 2021, and to get a head start on the things that you want to achieve in 2022. Now, more than likely, if you're on kind of like a path, trajectory, then probably a lot of your goals for 2022 will be roughly the same than your goals for 2021. They'll be related in some kind of way. So let's focus then on what you can do now in 2021 with the last few months that we have left. So first of all, take a look perhaps at the goals that you wrote down at the beginning of the year. Because if you're like me and you're very goal orientated, you love things on personal development, you actually really love it when it gets to like January 1st, so you can write down your new goals for the year. Like, I'm obsessed with that kind of stuff, and I'm sure if you're watching this video, then you are as well. So we're kind of like kindred spirits here. And by the way, if you are liking this video, then please leave a like on it, and please do subscribe if you haven't done so already, so you can get more videos like this one. And also leave down in the comments if there's anything that you would like me to discuss in a future video. So get a hold of that list, if you still have it around, of the goals that you wrote in January, or the goals that you wanted to accomplish within 2021. And basically just kind of make out a little bit of a plan for the next few months, because it might be the case that you got a bit discouraged. I know I have certainly got discouraged a few times this year, probably more times than I'd want to mention, right? So just make a little plan for the next few months. So it could be you might have had a weight loss goal, or you might have had a business goal that you wanted to do. What can you do realistically within, the next couple of months? Because obviously I don't want to say to you that, you can definitely achieve all the goals that you wanted to do in 2021 if you haven't done them yet. Now, I'm not saying that you will be able to do that, because it depends on how big your goals are. It might be the case that you might be able to do that and you might be able to achieve it. I don't really want to push on you what I think is possible for you, because only you know what you can do and what you're capable of. But I'm just saying, as a bit of a warning, don't expect massive results within the next couple of months. But who knows, right? You might be a complete hustler, a complete grinder, and know exactly what to do, and you've got the power to do it. So this is just a warning, for kind of like a bit of a disclaimer for everybody. Like, don't expect massive results, but you can make a few chips here and there. If you think of, like, let's say that your goals are like the statue David. If you just chip away a little bit more at the statue, you might be able to make a few chinks in order to make that masterpiece that was, David. So let's think of it in that kind of way. You can chip away at those goals. So what you want to do then is, what do you think that you can personally do within the next few months? So if, let's say, it is a weight loss goal, then perhaps you might be able to lose like a few more pounds before 2022. Perhaps you might be able to lose, let's say, like, I don't know, half a stone. Obviously, it depends on how much you feel like you need to lose and stuff like that. But that's something that you can totally do within the next couple of months. That's something that's completely possible for you. It's something that will probably push you out of your comfort zone, and that's something really important to know when you are creating goals, especially if you do have a bit of a small time frame like what we do have left in 2021. So with that being said, you want to make sure that these goals are not so big that they overwhelm you and make you feel disencouraged if you can't achieve them, but just enough that it pushes you out of your comfort zone. And that's really, really important. You obviously want to stretch yourself, but you don't want to do something so big that you definitely know deep down in your heart that you can't do it. And you might have a big goal that you know you can do in your heart, and that's absolutely fine as well. Just take what resonates with you, okay? If you have a business goal, let's say you have your own business and you are trying to attract clients, perhaps you're a coach or something, then perhaps one of your goals might be to attract a few more clients into your life, to make a few cold calls, or to just so you've got like an extra bonus perhaps at the end of the year. Perhaps that might be something as well. Perhaps you have a YouTube channel that you're trying to grow, so you might try and aim to get a few more hundred subscribers, depending obviously on how big your growth is. You might be someone who has like 100,000 subscribers and you're hoping to get like another 10,000 or something, or you might be a really small YouTube channel and you might have 0 subscribers and you're hoping to just get like, let's say like 20 or something. So these are all things that you need to consider, and obviously you need to kind of figure out what is best for you, and you can totally do that. When you're looking at your goals, think of how can I make a few chips in this, instead of how can I accomplish this by the end of the year. Oh my God, I've only got a few weeks left, right? Think of how you can kind of cut away at that and make a dent in it, or a chip, depending on what the goal is. So figuring those things out are really, really important. But I just want you to know that there's still time left. Don't just write off 2021. You do have time left, and you can start working on those goals as well for 2022. So let's say you are not happy with the goals that you created at the beginning of this year. Let's say your goals have changed and you no longer want to work on those things. Then if that's the case, then you might have some goals that you're kind of already thinking about that you want to, write down at the beginning of 2022. So what are those goals now? Perhaps you can get ahead of those goals and start working on those goals right now. So let's say in 2022, you want to accomplish, you want to create a new business, or you want to start a YouTube channel, or you want to lose this amount of weight, or you want to gain some muscle. You can start working on those things now. You want to start developing those habits now. There's that saying, I'm going to start as I mean to go on. Don't just wait for the right time, which a lot of people think is January 1st. You can start integrating those habits into your life right now. And habits are really, really important. It's not so much if you actually achieve the thing, but it's been able to get you into a place where you are consistent. And consistency has been a big part of my life for 2021. I've become a lot more consistent in other areas. Other areas I need to be even more consistent in because I haven't been consistent enough. But being consistent and being able to do those daily habits is extremely important in order for you to achieve those goals. Being able to get yourself to do the things you know you want to do and need to do in order to achieve those goals is way more important than whether or not you actually reach the goal itself. Because if you start getting yourself into the habit of doing something, so the habit of making a video a week for YouTube, or creating an article for your website every week, depending on how many times you do this, you might be full-time already. And you might be creating articles every single day, or you might be creating videos every single day. That might be you. Or you might be exercising every day and something like that and stuff like that. So, you obviously want to think about being consistent first, because there might be a few things that you want to be doing every single day, or you want to be doing every week, but you haven't quite got yourself into the habit of doing it yet. And you're waiting until 2022 to start afresh. Don't wait to start afresh. Get a handle on those things now. Start becoming more consistent. And one of the best ways that I've kind of tricked myself into doing this myself is, if I'm not consistent with something, I try not to overwhelm myself. So let's take the example of someone who wants to be able to exercise an hour each day, but they haven't been consistent with that in the past. Then aim to do something like just 15 minutes a day at first. And the reason why I say 15 minutes is because it's something manageable, it's something easy. And it might be the case that 15 minutes sounds overwhelming to you, so you might want to just do 5 minutes of exercise, right? And you might think, well, 5 minutes of exercise isn't really going to do much. 5 minutes of exercise a day isn't going to do much, or 15 minutes of exercise isn't going to do much. But the thing is, it's not about the results right now. It's about getting you to become more consistent with it. And then, when it gets to 2022 and it's the 1st of January in 2022, you're already going to be flying if you can just start becoming consistent now, right? So instead of focusing on the results, simply focus on the consistent habits, especially if you haven't been consistent with those things in the past. And that's how you're going to get ahead of everybody else who you might be competing with in 2022. If you get ahead now and start becoming more consistent. If you feel overwhelmed, just do less. It's more important that you become consistent and you get into the habit of doing it. Don't focus on the results just yet. The results will come, but at the moment you need to get the reps in, okay? And that's how you can do it, just by not overwhelming yourself and starting small. And I'm not saying that you have to stay at this level. If you've done something, let's say you do 15 minutes of exercise every day instead of the full hour. When it gets to a month and you've been doing 15 minutes of exercise for a month, then perhaps you can up it to 15 minutes. To another 15 minutes, so you get to 30 minutes, right? And then if you've been doing 30 minutes for a month, then you can get up to that hour or something like that. But it's much more important that you become consistent first and get yourself into the habit, because basically what you want to do is you want it to get to a point where it feels more painful not to do those things than it is to put it off and not do those things. When you get to that point where it feels more painful not to do it than to do it, that's when you're going to start seeing change, and that's when you're going to push through no matter what. And remember as well, if you've done something once, you can do it again. If you've exercised for a week consistently in the past, you can exercise for a week consistently again. If you've done things in the past that you thought were good, that you want to repeat, understand that you can do it again, because you've already done it once. And that's how you're going to get ahead in 2022, and how you can, make the best and make the most of the last few months that we have in 2021. And I hope this made sense to you. I can be a bit passionate and erratic about this kind of stuff, so I hope you don't mind too much. If you're interested in watching how to raise your vibration, if you're into the law of attraction and stuff, there's something very simple that you can do to raise your vibration. So I highly recommend that you go and watch this video on one way that you can raise your vibration. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.